Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go through my entire photo card collection as it is the end of 2023. Happy New Year everyone. I hope I can upload this before the year ends, but if it's already January, Happy New Year. Glad you're here. I'm actually going to go through like my smallest collections and then lead up to my largest because the largest ones will take up a bit more time. Compared to last year's end of year video, which please don't look at. I absolutely hate that video because I was in a rush. It's not that good. Today I hope to actually talk through my collections a bit more, and then I also want to tell you how I plan to collect for next year, which collections I'm keeping or dropping. Yeah, so I think that'll be a good and my goals, that's the last thing, and I think that'll be a good content for this video. So let's go ahead and get started. So my smallest collection right here is actually my A4 miscellaneous binder. This has quite a few different groups and such in it. So the first collection in this binder is my Yeonjun from Tomorrow by Together collection. I collect all his album photo cards from the Dreamcatcher, Magic, and Forward. I don't collect any of his larger stuff. Like some of the older albums had weird sized photo card inclusions, so I'm not collecting those. This is the Blue Hour section. This is Freeze, Fighter Escape, Thursday's Child, the Dreamcatcher Temptation, which for the Dreamcatcher Temptation, it did get a couple of non-album stuff, but that was just because it was like me recollecting TXT for the third time, and I was like, I want to celebrate it with a little bit of Yeonjun-ness, so I bought a little extra stuff for him. Free Fall begins here, and it will end over here. For Yeonjun, I pretty much just plan on collecting him the same way I do now. I really take my time with Yeonjun. He's not a high priority for me at all. But I do actually enjoy collecting Yeonjun now that I'm not taking it as seriously as I used to. Next up is my Only One Of collection, which is very bare bones in this binder, so please bear with me for a little bit. Let's focus. I collect my two biases, Rie and Mill, hoping to start at debut, but these cards are a little bit impossible, so I might give up on collecting those in the future, at least starting with this era right here. That's where I might begin my collection moving forward. A couple of non-album stuff here because A Song of Ice and Fire is probably my favorite title track, so I wanted to get just a little bit something to commemorate that era. Moving forward, I think I'll just keep on collecting Only One Of the same way I do now. They don't release a whole ton of stuff, so I'm not too worried about falling behind or anything. Next is my Triple S collection, which in this binder, I only collect my top bias per album release, but I do have plans to expand my Triple S collection. Fun fact, within the last couple of weeks, I've actually upgraded Triple S to a alt status. Yes, indeed. They were a semi-alt for the longest time, but now I think it is official. They are an alt of mine and my first alt grow group, and I just love them so much. So I hope to expand this collection even more in the new year. But for now, in this binder, as I said, I collect my top bias per album, which for Acid Angel from Asia was Nagyang, but I only have these two cards right now. For Assemble, my overall bias in Triple S is Dahyun, so Assemble, she was a part of it. I have her two cards right here, plus some K-Town For You ID. This is an empty page, which if I do get Crystallize, it would go here, and my bias in Crystallize is Cheon. She would go there. For Lovelution, Dahyun had her second release in Triple S, so Dahyun stuff would go up here. And then I'm thinking down here, I'd probably put Shinmi or Sohyun, if I were to continue doing this type of layout. Ideally, there'd be a page for Evolution here, but this page doesn't have it. But my biases in Evolution are Nagyang and Cheon. They would theoretically go on those two spots. But here I have the money card from, or Dahyun's money card from Lovelution, as well as 2 just non-album things for her. And then for the Hello 82 cards, I have Nagyung and Hyerin, who I pulled 2 of Hyerin's from my original Hello 82 albums and finally managed to find a trade for Nagyung. And then for Assemble, I have Dahyun and Chaeyeon. Which, fun fact about this Chaeyeon, this is serial number 1. So the first minted, I guess, first pressed ever of this Chaeyeon card, and I'm really happy to have it. Up next is my tiny little Shaw page from Blitzers. I, like many other people, fell in love with Macarena this year. I ended up buying a copy on a whim and pulled 3 out of 4 Shaw cards, and just decided to put them in here because I don't think the Blitzers trading community is that big. So I have 3 of Shaw's cards. Next is Plave. I love Plave so much. These cards are from one of the KCON packs from their booth at KCON. I just chose the selfie set rather than the more concept-y kind of cards. So I have just 1 full member set right there. Hamen is on the back. And then last but not least, this is not K-pop, this is J-pop, but this is Rihito from I. You can look at my last video where I tell the story of how I fell in love with Rihito, but this is his little page right here, just these 4 cards from Drop That. And that is it for this binder. We will head into my next smallest binder. Here's my next smallest binder. This one is my Post Boyz Planet binder. This binder opens up with TIOT, which I honestly don't think I'll be expanding this collection too much in the future. If I do, I'll probably just collect my bias, who is Minsung. But for their pre-debut album, I did want to collect OT4 as it was relatively easy. I'm just missing a couple Junhyun specifically cards for this era. And I believe I'm also missing 1 unit card. After TIOT comes Even, who right now I'm collecting my top 4, but I might downsize that in the future to just top 2. But honestly, I love all 4 of the people I collect equally, so it's hard for me to choose a top 2 if I were to go down to that. But for now, I collect Keita, Seunghan, Yunso, and Moon Junghyun. Just album cards, nothing, well, I'm not purposely trying to collect anything non-album. And I say that because I happened to trade for one of, for Junghyun's Hello 82 Pop, as well as I have his almost complete set from their fan meeting earlier this summer. Further goals for this collection, I hope to just catch up with Even. They just announced a comeback, so I'm really excited for that. I'll try and collect my top 4 again, but you know, none of these collections in this binder are top priority. I hardly ever look for these cards. I kind of just get them when I get them. But further plans for this binder, I hope to actually put in &1 in this album, specifically Jihyo and Kyrell. I loved Jihyo on Boyz Planet. He was one of my original top 9 contestants until some other members kind of took my attention away from him, but I still love him so much. I think he's very talented. And Kyrell, because he stole my heart, because of course he did. So I would plan to collect those 2 and put them in this binder because technically, you know, Jihyo was on Boyz Planet, so he can fit in this binder, and Kyrell will just join him because I'm not going to separate the 2. So I would put them here, and then I think that would be it for Post Boyz Planet stuff. I don't have any intention of collecting TOZ or One Pact, so don't expect me to collect them at all. But now we can head into my other miscellaneous binder. Next, we'll get into my A4 miscellaneous binder, which really isn't so miscellaneous. I think it just houses 2 collections so far. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but between the time from my last video and now, any cards that I received in the mail, I have already put into the binders. I did not save them for a storing photocards video because I like to show my collection as complete as possible, you know, for this video. So some of these cards are not going to be in the upcoming haul. And I'm not going to point out every card that is new in here. So just keep your eyes out if you notice anything that isn't in there from the previous video. But the first collection in my A4 wide binder is my Yeosang from ATEEZ collection. I absolutely adore Yeosang so much. I have no intentions of ever letting go of this collection. As you can see, I'm still missing 2 older cards from him. And at this point, the Anniversary Adult card is more like a holy grail card for me. So I do look for it, and I've seen it for sale and stuff, but for the price, I can't do that. But it is a holy grail card for me. I would love to have it at some point, as well as this card, because this one should be more easy to find. But for some reason, it's not for me. But regardless, these are his Korean album photo cards, which is pretty much all I collect for him. Epilogue is not quite finished, but close. This is the World Movement, which is not quite finished either. For Spinoff, I only decided to collect these 6 cards because I mentioned it before, but Spinoff was not my favorite album. Halsey is certainly not my favorite title track, so I decided to collect a bit less for Yeosang for that. And I think it works out just nicely to have it like this. Here's Outlaw, which is still a work in progress. And then these are also Outlaw cards on this page. This is my little miscellaneous / non-album Yeosang section. So I have various pobs here, the blanket card from Spinoff, two of the MMT cards, and the tour DVD Soul thing. I think that's what this is from. But that was my Yeosang collection. Next in this binder is my Elast collection. For Elast, I collect my top 4 members, who are Chaein, Rano, Baekgil, and Yejun. And then for this album, I also collected Singyup's cards because I thought he just looked too good to not keep in the binder. And then I collected OT7 for the pet cards. OT7 because Wonjin was not a part of the group at the moment. He was on a hiatus. For Dark Dream, I collected OT8 because that was when I discovered Elast and fell in love with them. And I really still can't choose a bias. Like, I don't have one official bias or even a top 2. That's why I collect my top 4. But for Dark Dream, that was when I found them. And so I decided to honor that with collecting OT8. I said Wonjin earlier. I meant to say Wonjun. I'm so sorry, Wonjun. And then for War, we are back to collecting OT4. Or my top 4, I should say. And then moving forward, I actually don't plan on collecting Elast past this point. I am, I guess, for the most part, particularly participating in the boycott against E! Entertainment. Like, I haven't listened to their new comeback yet, and I have no intentions on listening to it. So, and I'm sorry if that has upset some of you. I absolutely do love and support Elast, but I can't really support their company's choices. So that's my personal decision to not listen or, you know, buy their albums, etc., etc. Like, I haven't listened to an Elast song in a very long time, which hurts me to say because I love them so much. But yeah, from this point on, I'm no longer collecting Elast. Once I finish this collection, it will be complete. And then moving on, in this binder, I still have some of my Stray Kids cards, which I believe I'm actually going to try and trade or sell these because they're just taking up space in this binder for a collection I don't have anymore. So I previously collected Stray Kids, specifically Lino, Changbin, Felix, and Jisung, but I'm no longer going to continue with that collection, and I'm going to try and trade or sell all these ordinary IG cards as well as the unit cards. And then I have this little Changbin here in the back. But that is it for this binder. Next, we'll get into the proper group collections next. This binder holds my Golden Child collection, for which I collect selective OT10 as well as my top 3, who are Juchan, Jungjoon, and Jibam. So this collection is quite hefty, so I'm just probably gonna just stay quiet throughout most of it. You can tell what I collect OT10 and what I don't collect OT10 from, just based on the members on the page. In here I have this is AU, Japanese comeback from Golden Child. I have Juchen's cards here, and then just some miscellaneous non-album stuff. But I will say, moving forward, I'm having a very difficult time deciding what to do with my Golden Child collection. Within the last month or two, I did demote them to semi-alt status, just because they had a long hiatus, let's say, from Replay until Feel Me. And while Feel Me, I like it, it's just certainly not my favorite, so it even tweaked my interest a little bit less in Golden Child. I absolutely still adore and love them with all my heart. Truly, I have been deciding on dropping this entire collection and maybe just keeping a select set, as well as just a couple of my favorite cards. Just to tell myself, like, hey, you used to love this group so much, you used to collect them. So I think that's probably what I'll do in the future. Specifically, I will keep, what will I keep? I would keep this baseball set because baseball is my favorite sport. It's something near and dear to me. I'll probably keep this set. And then maybe some of these other, I would specifically keep Juchan cards, maybe a couple Zhang cards, but I think that's what I'll have to do moving forward. I know that my Golden Child collection isn't the most popular on my channel, and for anyone who does watch me for Golden Child, I'm really sorry about this decision, but collecting them no longer brings me joy. I find it just a little bit too much for me sometimes, especially some of these some of these newer eras, I should say. There's just a lot of cards to it, and yeah, I think for the best interests of me and my collections, I will probably drop the majority of my Golden Child collection. But it has been an absolutely fantastic and fun time collecting them. If you're even considering collecting Golden Child, I highly recommend it. The trading community for Golden Child is pretty active on Instagram. People are always willing to help out. So yeah, this is my Golden Child collection, maybe for the last time as you see it in this form. But yes, we'll get into the next collection. Next up, we have my on and off collection. So for on and off, I collect select OT6, I should say. Laon is no longer in the group. I collect select OT6 as well as my top 3 biases, who are JS, MK, and U. And like the Golden Child collection, I'm probably just going to flip through most of it rather than talk about every single page. And then at the back here, I have some miscellaneous, mostly Yuto stuff, as well as just one, oh, I don't know where he went. I used to have a Wyatt card right there, but I guess I moved him. Anyways, that was my on and off collection. Moving forward for on and off, my goals pretty much are just to be caught up, hopefully by the end of next year, especially with storage, especially with, I should say, Goosebumps. Goosebumps has been really slow moving for me. I'm also debating on if I want to include Love Effect in here. I'll probably add Love Effect once I'm caught up, just so I'm not thinking about too much at once. This will kind of be like the stopping point. I'll stop, reassess, see if I want to add Love Effect or not. But I love collecting on and off. I think it is so fun. They are an alt group of mine, so I'm happy to collect as much as I do for them. So if you haven't checked out on and off yet, why haven't you? They have an excellent discography. They are incredibly talented. They are all done with the military, I should say, so you don't have to worry about that hiatus coming at you. They are just incredible, incredible people. I highly, 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 highly recommend tuning into on and off if you have not already. Next, we'll get into the next collection. My next collection is my Zero Base 1 collection, for which I collect OT9 album inclusions and then sparingly top 3 for non-album stuff, but my main goal is to collect everything zhang. So to begin, I have some of the CGV cards as well as 2 KCON cards. Hao was obviously my priority, but eventually I picked up Tae and Hanbin on the way, as well as Gunnook, which I don't know if I'm going to keep this one, but he is just so cute. It's really hard for me to let go of it. But here we have Youth in the Shade. And then here begins the non-album section. For Youth in the Shade, I collected my top 3, or I'm actively working on finishing my top 3. So my top 3 are, okay, here's how it goes. My bias ranking is Hao, Tae, Hanbin. Yujin is 4th, but because Hanbin tends to be a really hard member to collect, I decided to put Yujin in his spot instead, because Yujin tends to be easier to collect, at least on the international side of things. So that's why you'll see Yujin here instead of Hanbin. This spot specifically will be for Hao's Other Tower Records card will go here. OT9 Panda Hat set, because of course I had to. These are the lucky draws. This is the lucky draws that I wanted to collect the top members for, because I wasn't going to collect my top members for every single lucky draw. That'd be a major drain to my budget. But here are the rest of Hao's lucky draws. And then a page of Hanbin, not album, just to appease the part of me that wanted to collect him as well. And then here begins what will be my Hao non-album Melting Point collection. I'm only going to collect Hao for Melting Point non-album stuff, just because I don't necessarily have I don't really want to spend the money on collecting Tae and Yujin as well. But if it happens to turn out that way, I'm not going to complain. I have a couple more placeholders that I have to add here, but that'll be at a later date. And then here at the back, I have the Lightstick OT9 set, as well as the Fan Kit OT9 set. And that is it for this binder. We will go into the next Zero Base 1 based binder. For my next Zero Base 1 binder, I have my exclusively Zhang Hao binder, which is complete with this highly personalized Hao A5 binder. In here, this collection will hold my more rare stuff, / hard to find, / hard to place in the other binder. So to begin, this will be his broadcast section. Of course, Youth in the Shade, and then Melting Point will be here on the back. I have his 2 Youth in the Shade Chinese cards, and the other Chinese cards will go right here for Melting Point. Over here, I have his pop-up lucky draw card, Straw Cafe event thing, mini L holder. Right here will be the trading cards, and then I have the candle card. The necklace card will go here. And then the rest of this binder is just open for the rest of the more rare cards, like Bring Green, Clean, I don't know, just a bunch of other random stuff that I'm working on getting. The icon will go in here. So it'll take some time, but once this binder is more filled up, I think it'll look very, very nice. Speaking of very, very, let's head into my very, very collection. Here is my very, very, the first very, very collection, first very, very binder I have for my collection. I don't know if I've ever introduced these over here. They just kind of been over here and I don't really talk about them, but these are the signed pages I got from winning fan signs with Hoyoung. I have 3, I just haven't cut out the 3rd page yet because I want to do something more special with them, but for now they just kind of live over here on the side. So 2 of my 3 fan sign things with Hoyoung. But to begin, very easily to say, for very, very, I collect OT7, all album cards, and photocard size inclusions. So I'm just going to flip through it, and here we go. So there we have my entire very, very album collection, Korean album collection, I should say. Goals for the next year are just to catch up, essentially, hopefully before their next promotions, whether it be a subunit or a whole group. The things that really hold me back are the platform versions, which I'm a little bit behind on, but I'm slowly working on it. And then I really, really, really just want to finish some of these older albums, especially like Very Chill and Variable DIY, which I know is the bane of everyone's existence, but it's specifically the bane of my existence because it has been so long. And I think in last year's video, or last year, I said I wanted to finish Variable DIY this year. It did not happen. I did not get a single card, so I really need to work on that. But for the most part, I'm very, very happy with this collection. It is my most complete collection out of everything that I have here. It is like, I don't know, at least 80% done, even with the Crazy Like That comeback. I'm still very caught up. I'm very happy with my progress. I just need to work on getting those final few older cards just to be completely caught up. But we'll get into the next very, very binder. This very, very binder is a lot more miscellaneous. I just kind of put everything that's not in the other binder pretty much goes in this one. But to start, I have my Hoyoung broadcast collection. This one is a missing variable broadcast, and then I still do have to get like the more recent broadcasts, but luckily those don't go for that much. Oh, this is a dirty page. But then I have the Face Me broadcast postcard here. And then essentially it's mostly Hoyoung, but I do have like a couple random members splattered in here every once in a while. Splattered in. Whew. This section is mostly Hoyoung, non-album stuff, but I do have a couple random members that splashed in here every once in a while. I could not tell you for the life of me like what each of these things are, so I apologize for that. If you're really curious, let me know and I can, you know, look them up for you. But this one, these specifically are from the 2022 concert. I had the trade for my Hoyoung. I had Yongsung originally, I think, or Donghan, I don't remember. But I had the trade, and then I also had the trade to get the merch card. But I'm really happy to have both of those. This is my EP Love Hoyoung section. 2 EP Dream cards, which I will plan on getting more. Undercover Japan cards. Random page. In here, starting here are like OT sets that I want to complete. So this is, I believe, Power Station from GBTB era. I love this set, so I really want to complete it. This is one of the MMT sets from round 1. K-Town for You, I think, from round 2. Another round 2 set. My Music Taste, it says. This one, I believe, is also My Music Taste. Nope, it's Make Star, haha. Make Star set. Oh, this is the first fan sign that I want. It came with this set. This is another Make Star set that I want to complete. These were double Make Star sets, and I also won from this fan sign. These really, really adorable, super cute EP Dream. I was literally obsessed with this set. Like, I saw it immediately on Mercari Japan, and I bought it so quick. But it is it is so cute, like, you can't deny. EP Dream, this is the fan sign that I won. Or EP Love, sorry. And then EP Dream, I found this at Mercari Japan, and I just bought this. I bought this in a haze. It was like, I saw cat ears, and I was like, all right, let's get it. So. And then here we have, this is Season's Greetings 2023. I looked at the box. It just says first Season's Greetings, but I think it was for 2022. And then the stickers. Yeah, here's the 2023 Season's Greetings. And then this is from the first tour photo book. This is from the second tour photo book. This is from the concert merch, whatever cards I got. OT7 set. And that is essentially it for this binder. Only goals for this binder that I didn't mention from my other collection is to just expand, I guess, Hoyeongnan album stuff and complete the old sets that I'm missing. But next we'll get into my absolutely largest collection, which spans 4 binders, which you know and I know, the boyz collection. To begin the boyz collection, we have this A5 wide binder, which houses my older OT collections, which, yes, let me start by saying I collect OT the boyz, including former members and the members current, starting with the first album and going all the way until now. I collect every single Korean album photocard for every member, which sounds like a lot, and it is, but I absolutely adore this collection. I love collecting them. It is so much fun. But I'm not going to get too much into it because all these collections will take a bit of time, maybe, who knows. But here we have the first. I'm just going to scroll through. I'm just going to flip through it. You can ask me questions if you have them about this collection, but I think it is all pretty straightforward. If you compare this binder, I was looking at my last year flip through. If you compare this binder to last year, I have made so much progress, like a crazy amount of progress. Like last year, this binder had like 5 cards in it, and now it has like 10 cards. I'm just kidding. But I have made a lot of progress in this collection over the year, and I'm very, very proud of myself because these cards can be really hard to find, especially if you're looking for like old press versus the new press. I don't really care that much because for me it's just about completing the collection, but I just love this collection. I love my entire The Boyz collection with every grain of my being. It is so much fun. I haven't made little sticky notes, but this begins the Dreamlight collection. And then I have the Maverick units in here as well. And the Maverick IDs. One Chenny Echo card. And then the first tour card set. The USA Tour. The second USA Tour card set. I was able to see them in Chicago last year. It was incredible. I hope to see them again. This is the Europe set, right? Yes. This is the Europe set. And the second Europe set. So that is all for this binder. We are actually going to cut to a separate clip filmed in my basement so that I can show you my larger The Boyz binders as they're meant to be displayed. So we have now changed locations so I can properly show you my larger The Boyz collections in my big Meow Cafe binders. Beginning with the first one, this starts with my reveal collection. We have the wolf version, the moon version, and the boy version. Not much done here with the reveal collection, but it's something that I'm slowly working on. After reveal comes Chase. Which I know you can't see the backs right now, but the backs generally go from darker to lighter. For example, these ones have the black backs, and then there's brown, and then a lighter like beige color for these ones. They go Chase, Stealer, and then Trick versions. Here's the Trick version. And then after the regular photo cards come the lenticular cards. Here are the Chase version ones. I don't know if you can see the transitions very well. The Stealer versions. And then the Trick versions. After the lenticulars are the ticket cards. Again, in that same version order. Chase, Stealer, and Trick version. After the Stealer comes Thrilling, which I am very close to completing, just not every card is in here at the moment, but here we have, I can't remember exactly which version is which. I believe it goes Kick, Bang, Splash, but it might be Bang, Kick, Splash. Regardless, I just have my fillers in here by what color the backs are, so. Please ignore the heat that's kicking on in the background. I'm hoping that my voice carries over louder than it, but if it doesn't, I apologize. Can't really do much about it because this is the only space in my house where I can show you this binder as it's meant to be displayed. After the album photo cards come these sparkling cards. And then finally we are on to Maverick. Maverick goes in Doom, Mood, and then storybook versions, which I am also very close to completing Maverick as well. After Maverick, of course, comes Whisper. I have, for each version, I do the like, I don't even know what to call these cards, like these kind of cards, like the little character cards. They're called something, I just cannot remember right now. But for each version it goes this, and then the album photo cards for each version. So here we have the document version, not document, denial version. Here's the desire version. And finally the document version for the regular photo cards. And then here we have the first set of the timeless cards, and the second set, the film cards. Shani's a little off here. There we go. Which I just realized I don't have any of these sleeved. And then we go into the meta version, which is kind of like the platform version for this album. I have the, how do you describe these cards? The QR cards first per version, and then the, like the regular photo card per version. So denial, desire, which there's nothing on this page because I don't have any of the QR codes. And then the document version, which still don't have any QR codes, but still some of the photo cards. So that is the end of the first big The Boyz binder. Let's get into the second one. Here's my second large The Boyz binder. This one begins at Roar. This one begins at Roar, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I do have some little fillers in here so you can tell what version is which, beginning with the Reach cards. And the version is the Realize version, followed by Reason. Then I have the platform version cards, beginning with the, I believe they call these the selfie cards, even though for my intents and purposes I call them the official cards because they are certainly not selfies. And these are the ones that came in sets when you buy the platform albums. So I begin with those. This is of course the Reach version. And then I have the selfie cards, which are the actual selfies, which I believe are called the official photo cards if you look on the album details, but it makes it easier in my mind to switch those titles around. And then I have the QR versions. The same thing goes for the Realize version. No QR codes for this version quite yet. And then the Reason version. And again, no QR codes. For Fantasy Part 1, Christmas in August, I have finally made placeholders and made sure that everything is aligned properly in this binder. This is kind of the beginnings of the crazy amount of photo cards per member, and it's a lot. Just trust me. So for the first version, we have the first version of holiday cards, which will go here. And then the second version of holiday cards. Keep in mind, I haven't really made a lot of progress on Christmas in August because I didn't join any group orders for this era. So I'm just taking my time getting all these cards in. Then we have the first glitter version. And the second glitter version. This is for the first version of the present version, but I do not have any of those. Same goes with the second. And then similar to Roar, or Be Awake, we have the platform official cards, which if you look at the album details is flipped around, so these would be like the selfie cards. But these are the ones that come in a set. I would put them right here, followed by the selfie cards and the QR cards. Same thing goes for the glitter version. This is the set, the selfie, and the QR cards. I did receive this Eric, this is the set version for the platform version. I did receive Eric's, but I need to actually like find the platform so that I can find the full set, because it's kind of weird. It's just kind of weird having just Eric by himself here. The platform cards and the QR cards. What I will note is that in this binder, I did not set up for the DVD versions or for Fantasy Part 2 quite yet. Fantasy Part 2 is kind of a beast on its own. I believe there's at least 20 pages that I have to add to this binder for that. And I just don't have any cards of those, so I'm not putting that in here at the moment, but trust and believe Fantasy Part 2 would be in this binder as well. And after I put in those pages, we'll have to see if Fantasy Part 3, whenever that comes out, will fit in here as well. But going back to the DVD versions for Fantasy Part 1, I'm not sure if I want to collect OT11 for those quite yet, because those cards can be a little bit notoriously hard to find, since we only get 1 out of 3 per version, you know, per member essentially. So right now I only have one of haknyeon's, because of course I would collect his. So I haven't made that decision yet if I'm going to find all the DVD versions. They can be kind of pricey when I do look on, let's say, Mercari Japan, or I haven't even seen them on Pokemarket. So we will see if that's something I add to this collection, but that is it for my larger The Boyz binders. Now we can head back to my room where I'll show you the rest. All right, this last The Boyz binder is my haknyeon non-album / miscellaneous collection. I collect for haknyeon, who is my bias in The Boyz. I collect all of his non-album pre-order benefits and lucky draws per album, but that does not mean I collect everything non-album for him, because he can be a lot. But starting with the Chase non-album stuff. Oh, I miss the days when there were only 18. Oh my goodness. Thrilling. Oh, Thrilling had even less. I didn't even know that. Maverick, which I actually just finished this year, which is kind of crazy to say. 3 random cards here. I have haknyeon, which I just cannot get rid of because it's so iconic. Haknyeon, are you kidding me? And then 2 of Channy's the B-Zone and Soul Encore cards. I don't know what to do with these. But he's so pretty, so like I can't get rid of him. Be Aware. Be Awake. As well as his jewel case card. This is Christmas in August, or Fantasy Part 1, which I still have a lot of progress to make because I did not join any group orders for this album, as I mentioned before. And then I guess starting on the next page would be my Fantasy Part 2 Sixth Sense cards. On this page is some of my rare haknyeon cards. This is Dreamlike Dreamlike MMT, Reveal MMT, Off Air, Reveal Wineglass, MD, Road to Kingdom, whatever. Wineglass card, and then I don't think this is rare at all, but Tattoo. Some more miscellaneous stuff like School Looks, the Azit, that Japanese magazine they did something with, Christmassy, and another one of my Holy Grail cards is the keyring, I believe. The one where he has the bubble or balloon in his hand. I want that card so bad, but it is so expensive. It is so cute. I want it so bad. And then I have some other stuff. Echo, the Star, I think. The film festival stuff, Light Stick, Wapochi Cell. These are all my She's the Boss cards, which I just need to finish it. Oh, this is She's the Boss. This is Breaking Dawn. I was like, wait. And then some other random stuff. I will have to put Delicious after She's the Boss, obviously. Delicious is so good. Tooth Jam, 4th Fan Kit, Zeneration. Oh wait, no, just kidding. This one is from the Beat Road. And then back here, I have all my haknyeon album cards, album inclusions that don't fit or that are taken out from the larger OT binders because that can only hold 10 spots. So I just decided to take my bias out and he has his own kind of setup for all of those cards. And then I don't have anything for 6 cents. But that is it for my The Boyz collection, my largest collection, but also probably my most fun collection. Now I know this transition might be a little bit sudden, but I do just have one last thing in my collection. It is literally 2 days, I think, from the last clip that I filmed, and I'm putting this at the end of my video just because this is a little like not even a collection. It's just obviously, as you can see, a little collect book, and at the front we have Adon from 50/50 here at the front. This collect book, which is, like I said, not really a collection, is just a collection of like freebies that I've received or photo cards from previous collections, just to like remind myself that I used to collect them. But here we have Adon here at the front because I bought one 50/50 album, you know, before everything went down. But here I have Hyunsuk from CIX because I used to collect him. I have 2 Junhyuk PCs from Mirai, as well as a Yubin from Mirai card. I have 1 Kim Woo-seok photo card because he is one of my favorite male soloists. I have Kina from 50/50, also from that same album I pulled Adon from. I have this Yeji freebie. I have 2 Felix cards because, as I mentioned before, I recently dropped Stray Kids, but wanted to keep at least some Felix cards. And then I have Mina from Twice, which was a freebie, which I actually damaged incredibly while trying to put her into the sleeve. So I'm not even going to take her out because that was a lot. But that's all for this little binder. I will never ever show this on camera except for end of year type collection haul things. But this is just a little collect book that I have. It sits up on my desk just to, I don't know, just to look cute. And I just love this little cover. I think it is so cute. But thank you so much for watching my end of year collection haul. If you have any questions about certain cards or any collections, feel free to leave a comment. I will get to it as soon as I can. Have a blessed 2024. Hope to see you more often. Bye.